Hello and welcome to the Initiative Order and tonight's episode of a Corrupted Frontier, our Death in Space campaign. This is episode 2 of many. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'm Danny. I'm the GM for tonight and the person that's gonna put this amazing cast through their paces in this horrendous universe that I have concocted for you. So, speaking of my cast, let me go around and we can do some introductions. We will start with Bobbi. Bobbi first.
Okay, hi, I'm Cori. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Bobbi, who also uses she, they pronouns. Bobbi is a punk tow trucker botanist and the captain of the ship.
Wonderful. Next up will be Mira.
Hi, so I'm usually known as Dawn Whisper on the internet, and I play Mira, who is a chrome technomant on the Stella, and I'm basically the ship's engineer.
Wonderful. Keep going round in a clockwise fashion. Lunar.
Hi, I'm Melissa Rose, she, her. I play Lunar Terracin. She is a punk, human, ex-interstellar soldier with some issues. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Next up is Xander.
Hello, my name is Mazz. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Xander Praetorian. His pronouns are he, they. Xander is a chrome intergalactic traveler, static noise translator, bit of a tech head, kind of quiet, keeps to himself. Too old for this shit. He's got robot hands. That's a thing.
Wonderful. And finally, Wyoming.
Hey, hello. My name is Homero Rios, and I'm playing Wyoming, an space vagabond who likes piña coladas and rainy days and piracy.
And beef.
Also beef, of course. I love roast beef.
Wonderful, wonderful. And yes, so is this a new day? Or is it? Who knows? But there is one thing we do know, and that this is a universe of trials, tribulations, pain, sorrow, happiness, light, dark, a bit more dark, some more dark, and an ever-present and closing in void. So, with that, let us enter the world of Death in Space. So, to recap from last session, we started off with Bobbi, our tow trucker who was gambling and managed to win a ship of their own, and a tip on some possible salvage of what was thought to be derelict space station. Bobbi enlisted the help of their friend Lunar, who joined the fray very willingly, being an ex-soldier saved by Bobbi in a previous situation. They together put out an open call for crew members to help them on their way with this new ship, and a chance to maybe score some hollows or some good scrap from this derelict station. They put the call out, and the only inhabitants of the Iron Ring that came were Xander and Mira, two chromes of no mutual acquaintance, but they put themselves forward to join and were taken on board by Bobbi and Lunar, as they were the only ones who applied. Best of the bunch, as it were. And they loaded up the ship and set off to this salvage. En route, Lunar was checking the cargo hold of the ship to see what they had, what supplies they might have had, and found a sleeping stowaway by the name of Wyoming Jones, who had found a quiet spot in the corner and gone to sleep. So, now being a crew of 5 rather than 4, they made their way to this tip for this salvage, and it was a while. It took them a while to get there because travel takes a long time in this universe. The solar system is large and the ship isn't fast. Along the way, a couple members of the crew had some interesting, somewhat restless nights, as it were. Seeing things, maybe hearing things, experiencing things not of the norm. But they all made it there in one piece, and they arrived at this derelict station. Once there, they docked and found it was in working order to a degree, and had a look around. Found that it was in fact, yes, it was a working station with multiple different modules. It had a distillery on it, which was a little bit unusual, but it had a working moonshine distillery that they could utilize. And then Lunar opened the cargo bay, the main storage room of this station, and slipped, as it were, in a pool of blood. Shouted out, and everyone rushed to their aid. In doing so, they turned the lights on and found that there was a body in the corner of the station where this blood had trailed from. And they investigated, found this person was dead from a knife wound, and there was a small audio recording on a little kind of dictaphone device detailing who this person was. And the person was Baker Malo. Baker was a bounty hunter and the previous owner of this station, along with their crew, whose bodies have not been found on the station. But Baker was stabbed by their last bounty, a person by the name of Bo Zappa, who Baker described as being a very evil person, a plague, as it were, who had taken out their crew and needed to be stopped, this bounty needed to be claimed, dead or alive. And if you were to claim the bounty, then you were going to get quite a lot of money for it, potentially. And that was the recording that was left. Following this, you also found a keycard and a notebook on Baker's body, and you went to the main control room, the main kind of bridge of this station, and Bobbi, with some help from Mira, were able to insert the keycard into the station, turn all the systems on, and get the station fully operational, up and running, and good to go. And with that, you all kind of took a second to breathe and kind of discuss amongst yourselves what you were going to do now. Whilst this was going on, Baker's body was laid to rest in a kind of standard space funeral where he was ejected out of an airlock, just kind of yeeted off into the blackness, in a very kind, loving way, obviously. But yes, that's where we left off last week. You have a ship, you have a station, you have a bounty to investigate, and you have now somewhat bonded in one way or another as a crew. So now you've all had a moment. What are you gonna do?
I think after sort of like getting all this situated, if Bobbi could kind of just like explore because we're in the control room right now.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of start looking through, and I'll look at anybody else and kind of like gesture. Does anybody want to help me look around? Maybe see if there's anything else in here.
I'll help you look.
Perfect.
There
Thanks
might be
so
some
much.
useful pieces here too.
Yeah, I mean, you could build some sort of gadget. I don't know what exactly you like to build, but maybe there's something here for you.
I'm sure there will be. I did see some kind of power facility here.
I'd like to look in the storage room if that's all right with everyone else.
Sounds good.
And he just with wordlessly walks off.
Let us know if you. He's gone.
Okay. Can Bobbi and Mira make me a savvy roll?
Bobby?
As a reminder, that's a D20 you roll, and you need you add your ability to that, and you need a 12 or higher.
It's a 17 for me.
15 for me.
Very nice. Bobbi, looking around, you find that there are stacks of papers, folders and files kind of scattered around this control room. So there's definitely some information you can gather and find there. Mira, what are you specifically looking for? Anything?
I guess like any bits and bobs that can improve any tech that I saw was a bit older or outdated in our ship. So anything that might be newer than what we currently have in the main ship.
Okay. Having a look around, Mira, you do find that the station is slightly newer than your ship. And you're able to see that there is a ship scanner on the station that you could remove and place onto your ship, and what that would be useful for is scanning around whilst in space and picking up any nearby vessels within a kind of couple kilometer radius. Something that your ship does not have.
We didn't have one before, so yeah, that would be my main pick.
Yes, you managed to kind of start tinkering with that and kind of removing the module from what appears to be like a control terminal tower in the room. Whilst you do that, Bobbi, you find these files and notes, and you have a flick through, and you're able to find within the notes there are maps of the current solar system that you're in, the region that showcase the different planets that are around Some of them have got like crosses through. Some of them are circled with like little handwritten notes going "was here," and then like a date that is a good like 4 or 5 months previous. And then there is a large circle around another planet. And there is a like a sticky note on the map next to that, and it says possible last location, moon station, and then it says the name of the planet, which I'm gonna butcher. It is Lepidoptera. Or Lepidoptera. Say it fast enough.
I would love if you could drop the spelling in the chat or spell it for me. Lepidoptera. Okay.
I nearly had it.
But it says last known location, moon station, Lepidoptera, which is a planet within the solar system you are in. It is a bit of a ways away in terms of travel. But it's the most recent note you can find that gives any sort of information on where this person is. You also find a kind of large sheet of paper with a kind of crime scene sketch of a person, like the reconstructed face, written, kind of drawn on there with Bo Zappa's name on there, like a Western style wanted poster, but a little bit more advanced in its notation. And it says Bo Zappa, wanted serial killer, wanted dead or alive, part of the gang, the Cleanup. That's the gang's name that he was a part of, is the Cleanup. Bounty, 1,000 hollows, plus module, is what it states. It doesn't state whether that's a ship module or a station module, but it says a module plus 1,000 hollows is the bounty.
Okay.
For the capture of Bo Zappa or the proof of his demise. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and kind of, if I can, I'll fold that up. I think I still had a notebook. Yeah, I have a notebook, so I'll kind of fold that up and put the wanted sketch in there, with the intention of like calling a meeting later to show it to everybody. And I'll show it to Mira while we're there, just in case she happens to recognize this person.
Do I roll for recognizing this person, or is it?
Roll me a savvy.
My savvy again. 16.
You recognize the face, but only because you've seen this poster before.
Okay. There are a few of these on the station, I believe. I recognize the face, but I'm not sure I'm familiar with the person.
Based on what it says, I think that's a good thing.
Serial killer. I wonder what drove him to kill.
I don't know. Maybe if we see him, you can ask him that.
Maybe, if we don't kill him first.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a greater reward if he's alive?
I don't think so. It doesn't say, right? It's just 1,000.
No. Yeah.
Then we may as well kill him first.
I think we'll want to take a group vote, see if everybody's okay with that.
All right. It is the
Yeah.
more practical solution.
You're probably right. I'm a little squeamish when it comes to that. So,
Well, it seems like they're a terrible person.
yeah, I don't like the sight of blood. Doesn't matter whose blood it is, you know? Ugh.
It is unpleasant.
Also, like, Bobbi definitely looks like a little green just at like the thought of this. Well, did you find anything?
Actually, exactly what we needed. A
No?
ship scanner.
Oh, that'll be great.
I did
look,
see you struggling to scan before.
Look, I promise I want to take better care of my ship, but I do not have a lot of money to my name. So,
Well, you can always scavenge for parts. There's always plenty lying around.
you might have to teach me like how to keep an eye on the stuff that's good, the stuff that's bad, the stuff that maybe you sell to other people.
I'd be happy to. Tell me when you're free sometime.
Perfect. Seems like wherever we're going might have a lot of downtime, so you could teach me then.
For sure. I take it you've not done a bounty hunting mission before.
That obvious?
A little.
I do little jobs here and there, mostly tow trucking, It's easy. Gets the job done, pays the bills. You don't piss too many people off. I try to avoid pissing people off.
Unless you drive badly.
Yeah. That remind me to tell you about the first time I got into this business. Oh, it's not good.
That sounds unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, do we want to go explore elsewhere or see what everybody else has found?
We should check up on Xander especially.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went.
Yep. And I'll go ahead and make a beeline to head out.
Okay. So on that note, Xander, what are you doing?
I'm looking around at all of the boxes to see if there's any labels on them, any kind of identifying markings of what could be inside it. I'm just trying to kind of get an inventory of what is still on the station.
Okay. So looking around the storage room, apart from where the body of its previous occupant once lay, there isn't.
Yeah, I look at the floor and I'm like, we should clean this up at some point.
It would help. It's going to start to smell.
Truly.
But yes, looking around, you see there are a couple of crates in there, but beyond like, say 4 crates, there isn't much else there in the storage area.
Can I look in the crates?
Yeah. Head
Awesome.
over, pop them open. They're not like bolted closed or anything. They are openable. Inside 2 of them, you find what appears to be supplies used to make moonshine. There's a distillery here. So there is a form of sugar. There is a jar that has some sort of yeast inside it, living inside it. And there is some distilled water. And there is what appears to be some sort of vegetation that is on the turn.
No honey?
No.
Cool.
This is like cheap moonshine. It's not going to be fancy flavorful.
curious. Oh, for some reason I was thinking mead. Never mind.
No, not that good.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Um,
That's in two of them. You open another one and it's empty. And then you open the last one and it appears to have like freeze-dried rations in there.
Solid.
And there's about like 25 sachets of freeze-dried rations of a variety of flavors.
Solid. And it's a pretty big space, yeah? Like it's a big cargo hold.
Yeah.
Echo. I think... Can I lift the empty crate? How big and heavy is it?
It's about like the biggest one is about like 3 foot by 3 foot
Oh, yeah?
in size. The smaller one's like 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot squared.
They're all squared, like perfectly squared.
Near enough, yeah.
Okay, I take the 3 foot one. Can I carry it?
Make me
With my
make me
robot
a
arms?
body. Yeah, make me a body check.
13?
13 success. Yeah, you managed to pick it up. It's heavy,
Yeah.
but it's empty. So
Great. I'm going to bring this onto the ship.
okay. I've already. I know what you're doing. Yeah. Okay.
So obviously timing wise narratively, you just see Xander just walking back towards everybody else's because they're closer to where the airlock is to the ship with just a big empty box, big old box. Just I found food. There's a
in there. And I'll
no,
point
this
at
one's
the
empty. No, in the storage cargo, there's 25 packs of rations, and moonshine supplies. Because apparently that's just what they did here. And then I just keep walking with my box.
What's in the... And I stop because he's already walked away.
Okay.
It's empty, and then I keep going.
Why do we need an empty box?
I do, you don't.
People to their own, I suppose.
Really good hearing. My God.
I'm such a dick. I'm sorry.
We should probably ask him why he needs it. I don't pretend to know what he's up to.
It is a very interesting crew.
I'm gonna look at Luna and just kind of like shake and be like, wow, this is really the best crew we got. Like, this is such an odd crew.
Yeah, I guess I'll go grab the rations and put those into the ship.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and do that. Wyoming.
Yes, sir.
What's Wyoming doing whilst all this is going on?
I mean, he's great. He's hanging. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it has been a couple of very awkward and weird days without my... Yeah, I'm not okay, bro. I mean, I'm not okay. You see, the reality, when you are a pod survivor, a daydreamer, we call this type of person, the reality, it's heavy, man. It's heavy. You know, it's like a desk or a box. It's really, really heavy. But the thing is, sometimes you find tiny little medicine and supplies and people that can help you to carry on that burden. And right now, I don't have any of that supplies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I need breakfast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I need breakfast now. Now.
Okay. So, are you heading to the kitchen then?
Not that kind of breakfast, man.
Let's see.
You know, like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wyoming, make me a savvy check.
Oh my gosh. 12.
12. That is a pass. That's a success. Okay.
Yes.
In this moment, Wyoming, when you've come to this realization that you need breakfast. It's been a while, and you are aware now, kind of milling around on this station, that it does have like sleeping quarters on here, and there are quite a few sleeping quarters on this station. You know, at some point there was a full crew on this station. You surmise, maybe there's something left in their rooms.
Sure.
Might be worth a look.
I will do my best in order to find some release from this torment of my life.
Okay. Bobbi, Mira, and Lunar, as you're kind of in the exit the control room and you're in the kind of main concourse of this station, you see Xander kind of quickly passing with an empty crate, heading to the ship. You see Wyoming before you, and it was stood there, a bit glazed, and shaking, cold looking, scratching a little bit, and then you see this kind of moment of clarity come across Wyoming's face, and then he just darts towards the kind of sleeping quarters section of the ship, just completely blanks your existence and wanders that way.
Are you sure you trust that one?
Yeah. I mean, he seemed like he hasn't done anything to come after us. He seems fine. I don't know, maybe I'll check in on him privately later and figure out what's up. Maybe he's just, he just had a rough night, or maybe he doesn't like blood, I don't know.
You hate to judge, but his story seems rather unlikely.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. He seems nice enough, and he helped us get here, and he helped us find things, so I want to give him the benefit of the doubt,
I suppose. Keep an eye on him, though.
Yeah, well, I mean this in the nicest way. I'm keeping an eye on all of you.
As you well should.
Yeah. You seem okay, though.
Thank you. I try.
So, Xander, you get back onto the ship. Where are you taking your box?
My bunk.
Okay. You head there. You're in your little room on the ship.
All of the stuff that I kind of took with me, all my personal belongings, I put it in the box. Unless it's closed, in which case I put it on that little cubby that I have. And I... Do we have chairs?
No. Not in your rooms. Except for the captain's quarters, which had the desk and chairs.
Right, the desk. So instead, he takes out his notebooks, full journals that have already been fully written in, and the pens that he had in his bag and everything else, and just kind of lays it out in the box. Kneels down starts writing what happened today. And then eventually he'll go back to the station. He'll put everything back in the box and then go back to the station.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. You sit down and you take a moment to journal your day.
It's really important for Xander to write down everything that happens to him. He has several notebooks full of everything that's happened to him for him to go back and read at any point.
Okay. Cool. So, you take that moment to write down what's going on. Wyoming.
Yes.
You're now sifting back and forth between these sleeping pods on the ship, on the station, should I say. And again, there are like 18 crew quarters on this station. And you're kind of sifting back and forth, doing a quick kind of ransacking of the rooms, looking for breakfast. And you get through like the first 8 without finding anything.
Damn.
It's getting a little tense now. You know?
Yeah.
You need breakfast.
I'm getting there, dude. I'm getting there. There's like some kind of line when the reality and my dreams and the things that I do believe that I lived probably in a life before starts to blur and starts to mix. So I don't know if this is real or this is something that I already lived. I mean, do I know this ship? Do I know this ship?
Make me a savvy roll.
18.
18. You take a moment and have this realization, like, have I been here before? This seems familiar.
Absolutely.
What's going on? And then, in a brief, again, another moment of clarity for you, Wyoming, you realize you have been here before. You searched this room 2 rooms ago, and you've just gone back to it.
Yeah.
So you should probably check a different.
I know where's the secret stash is, bro.
You wish you did. But you've already ransacked this room.
Damn it.
You move on though, and you keep looking through the rooms. And because you got an 18 on that savvy roll, I won't have you roll again. But you get to like the second to last room, and you're moving at a much more rapid pace as you're you know, the hunger's kicking in. And you get to this room and you take a quick glance, and it's just like every other room. There's a bunk bed, there's a small set of drawers, and there's like a little like all-in-one combi bathroom facility. You go straight to the drawers, pull them out, nothing. You jump on, look on the top bunk, nothing. You grab the mattress on the bottom bunk, lift it up, nothing. You spin around and look at the bathroom. The little, like, it's a toilet, but where the cistern is at the back is also where the sink is. And you're looking, and you're like, that screw looks loose.
Yes.
I rush over, and with your fingers, this is a very tiny screw, you manhandle, and you manage to unscrew it, and like the little corner of this like metal panel peels away, and you kind of lift it, and you see a small little metal tin.
I took it.
You take it.
Yes.
You take it out, and on top of the tin it says fresh breath mints. You open it.
Yes.
And inside you see peas.
My kind of peas?
Your kind of peas.
Oh, hallelujah.
Mm-hmm. And you see about a dozen.
Can I take one?
Yeah.
Can I take two?
You can take as many as you like. They're yours.
I will take probably half box if that's okay.
Okay.
I already took it.
A moment passes, Wyoming, and you feel that kind of internal vibration slowly calm down.
Okay. This feels... Is this normal? I mean, it feels kind of normal, but a different normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I'm cool now. Where's the captain? Captain! Yo! Captain! I start to scream.
Okay. Bobbi, Lunar, Mary, the three of you hear this.
Oh, I'll go get him. Feel free to go back to the ship.
All right.
I'm gonna very cautiously walk towards him because does it sound like he's panicked? Does it just sound like he's just trying to get my attention?
How does it sound, Wyoming?
I mean, I have an idea in my mind, but I have to know if it's viable, because right now it feels like reality, but I need to know if the reality is the same thing as the captain perceives. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
So, Captain, are you there?
As I get closer, I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm here, Wyoming. What's up?"
Okay, I have a couple of random thoughts for you. Just tell me if we are, on a ballpark or kind of very far of reality.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good to you?
Are you okay?
Hold that thoughts. Kind of.
I'll try to go over to you and get you to sit down. I'll try to pull you over.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
And I'll put my hands up and I'll back away a little bit.
Okay. I will sit. I'm a civil person, so I can sit by myself. Okay.
Of course.
Are you gonna sit with me?
Yeah, I'll sit across from you.
Okay. Do you have any milk with you?
No, I don't carry it on me.
Damn it! What is this place? Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're the captain, and this ship it's kind of new to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are on the verge of a very dark situation because there's a kill on the loose, right? A person that was a very important part of this ship. Are you following me?
I'm following.
Okay. I think I know that guy.
How do you know him?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how I know, but I know what I know.
Right.
And I know.
Just the feeling, right?
Like a hunch.
Okay.
So.
Can I, as we're having this conversation, can I kind of just get a general vibe check on Wyoming?
Yeah, roll a savvy.
Okay. Oh my god, where's my... Nope. It's like an 8. Well, hold on. Yeah. Okay, that's an 8. That's not a 1.
Okay. Uh, I mean, you've not known Wyoming that long, and it's just maybe another side of him.
Okay. Cool.
So, what are you gonna do about it? I mean, about these guys. Do you already have a plan?
The beginnings of a plan. I think I was telling Mira we need to take a vote.
Okay, you don't have idea. I already have a plan. A very good plan.
Do you want to explain it to the crew, or do you just want to explain it to me?
I have to explain to you first because I don't know if it's real.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Are you Sid? Yes, of course. Are you Sid? Okay. So, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
We have to follow this guy.
Mm-hmm. That was the beginnings of the plan that I had.
Great. Big mind thinks alike.
Yeah.
So, we follow this guy. We track him down, and we set a trap for him.
Okay.
How it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the logical question. What are we going to use in order to attract him? Like a bait. Do you already have a bait?
No.
No, of course not. Of course not, because you are very, very far behind on this master plan. So the thing is, you have to think like a killer. You don't have to be a killer because that's insane, of course, but you have to think like the killer. Can you think like a killer, Captain?
Probably not. Blood makes me squeamish.
Okay, I can do that. I'm your man.
I'm gonna try and just back away a little bit. Just because I'm like, ooh, I should have had one other person come with me. Okay, so what do you propose the bait be?
Okay, here's the thing. We need just a fake ID, a black hat, a couple of milk gallons, and meet me. What are you? Ah, you're the captain. Yes, of course. So just meet me on deck and I will explain everything. It's very, very easy. Can you get the crew for me?
Yeah. Do you want to explain it to them now?
No, I won't. I'm gonna take a nap. I only need 5 minutes and I will be very, very cool.
Okay. I'll get the crew ready. I wanted to show them what we found anyway, and check in.
Yes.
So I'll get them ready and you come back to the ship whenever you're ready.
I will do that. We have a plan. We just have to follow it.
Sounds good.
Be a killer, Captain. Be a killer.
No. Sure, Wyoming. Sure. And I'm gonna as I'm getting off the bed, rather than get off the side that's closer to Wyoming, I'm gonna go around the other side and just keeping an eye on him. Is he actually going to sleep, or what's Wyoming up to?
Wyoming, roll me a body check.
6.
Wyoming passes out instantaneously.
I mean, at the moment.
It just boop.
I'm gonna go ahead and just walk back to the ship itself, and I'll kind of okay. Interesting characters. This is what I get for not really handpicking anybody. Just roll with it. It's gonna be great. think the best of everybody, just kind of talking to myself on the way back. And then I'll go to where I can like call everybody to basically have like a little team meeting, you know, a little check-in.
Yeah. Yeah, as you kind of do this and you collect Mira and Lunar and heading back to the ship, you walk onto the ship from the like docking umbilical and head to like the little galley kitchen like mess area of the ship, and you pass some of the crew quarters on the way, and you're able to kind of motion Xander in with you, so the four of you can congregate there whilst you wait for Wyoming. Wyoming, 5 minutes pass.
Yes.
And you wake up, bing, wide awake.
Wide awake.
More awake than you ever were, ever.
Absolutely, yes.
You have no recollection of the past 5 minutes whilst you were asleep?
Absolutely, I have no recollection whatsoever, yeah.
But you remember the conversation you had with Bobbi? It's just from the moment you blacked out to the moment your eyes open, no time has passed.
Yep.
But you're lying down rather than sat up. So something's happened there. You're on your own on the station.
Okay, probably I feel so much better right now, so probably I will just try to find the crew to see if I can be helpful on anything, okay?
Yeah.
I'm so much better right now, you know?
Yeah. You have a wander and you kind of meander your way back onto the ship, and you see everyone's congregated in the kind of mess in the kitchen.
I like to imagine that like all of us just like turn like, you know, like cats do whenever they see something, just
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
You wanted me to gather the crew for you?
Did I?
Yeah.
What for?
A plan?
Do we have a plan?
You had
Because
a plan.
Do I have a plan? I'm not sure about that, dude. I mean, I'm not a plan guy. I mean, you see what you get, man. Do I have a plan? I'm not sure about it.
I look kind of annoyed at the back of the captain's head, feeling like I'm wasting my time. Nobody knows that, but that's just how I feel.
Captain, do you have a plan?
Well, and I'll sort of turn to Mira, but keep my eyes looking at Wyoming. Well, I think the main thing is, well, there's a couple things. I think we need to figure out all we possibly can about this guy. Any news articles?
I mean, what guy?
Yeah, what's our objective?
Sorry, and then
for what?
I'll be like, oh my god, and I'll pull out the little like wanted poster.
Hey, I think I know that guy.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah.
This was the guy the victim had the radio recording about, right?
I mean, I recognize the face. I don't know if I met him, you know, because my head, you know, I have a condition, but I do recognize that man.
Right.
Wyoming, does your condition include memory loss?
Yeah,
It does,
basically.
right?
Yeah, because you see, when you are a daydreamer, you sleep so many years on a pod. Sometimes your brain could be like a, you know, kind of squishy, like a old bread. So
As a chrome, I can relate.
yeah, so basically, so sometimes I do believe that I live some kind of stuff in my life that are basically lies, and other times I just do remember, I have recollection of things that I actually live. So I don't know what's the situation right now. Probably this is real.
I mean, it's entirely possible, Captain, that you two did have a conversation, but if this is
It definitely
Wyoming situation.
happens.
I mean, we can set this guy a trap or something, like use a decoy or a bait. I don't know, dude.
I think that's not entirely an unreasonable idea. My
Yeah, right?
wonder is, what is his objective? And then we have to, like you said, bait him, but we need to find out what the appropriate bait would be. What is his
And
objective?
I think that's
why-
where the
Yeah.
research comes in. If we can figure out anything, any information that has been released about him besides the fact he's a serial killer, anything we can find out would be useful in setting that trap.
What we do know about the victim or the victims?
One way to find out, we can look online, question mark.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an office with like a bunch of papers? And I believe we left off in the last episode.
Wasn't it like in an engineering room?
It was in the
The
control room, and Bobby has
the-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll pull those out and just I'll hand everybody basically like an equal stack so we can all just start like sifting through it.
I'm gonna spread everything out on the table in front of me. So, is my understanding that our goal is to collect the bounty on this guy?
I think
And I look
so.
at the crew.
I
Yeah,
can use
right,
the
I'm in.
money. Yes.
Dead or alive?
I prefer dead. I mean, dead it's more practical. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
with
agree.
Wyoming. He won't kill again. And I look at Mira. Yeah.
And majority rules.
I mean,
Captain,
if
you
this guy's a
seem-
serial killer, he's clearly dangerous. We should be cautious, no matter what we do.
It will also save on supplies on the return journey.
That is
That's true.
practical.
Mm.
Captain, you
Doing
seem
like
a
a
bit
medical-
hesitant.
I don't like blood. That's what it doesn't matter. I don't like blood. I don't like my blood. I don't like anybody else's.
There are, well,
We can choke him the fuck out without any blood. I mean,
there are ways to die without blood.
been there, done that.
That okay, yeah, sure. I guess.
We'll see what happens as we get closer.
We'll make a couple plans.
So I look
But
out
let's-
on the pages in front of me. What do I see?
So, within the scattered notes that you all have an equal portion of, you see some notation on previous locations that this person has been cited where past killings have happened that are attributed to Bo Zappa. You have some information on his previous gang and who they are and what they did and Bo Zappa's involvement with that gang. The majority of the information you have is that a lot of the killings were random. There was a lot of kind of theft and then murder during Bo's time within the gang. There is a statement from a previous member of the cleanup of Bo's gang that, when reading that, states that they were a group of criminals that would hijack ships, steal from other ships and stations, hold people for ransom, work.
Pirates.
Yeah, basically, to a degree. But Bo was kicked out of the gang due to his volatile nature. This gang were more into making money and not necessarily being legitimate in the way they did that, but they didn't want it. They didn't want blood on their hands. They weren't about killing people. They were about taking hostages, getting what they need, giving the hostages back. Whereas Bo, being slightly unhinged, had a habit of stabbing people. Repeatedly.
These gangs and fellow collaborates, does it rings any bell to me? I mean, I've been around a while.
You have, and I would say you have heard of the cleanup. I would say Wyoming and Bobbi, you two will have heard of the cleanup in your time, kind of dotting around different areas. But again, they were kind of more like low-level petty crime. Is the information you had on them.
I don't see any patterns here. Any patterns with like what is usually stolen, the kind of demographic of the ships they usually go after, the hostages they take. No patterns at all.
Not with the cleanup. No. Post cleanup, when Bo was kicked out of the gang, he continued his murderous ways, and he had killed a high-level member of a rival organization, in terms of a territory war between two sections of space near the planet Emissa. And it was since then that this bounty was placed onto Bo, and then it appears all murders that followed from this situation, from this point, from the bounty, are more in line with someone has gone to try and capture Bo and failed.
And not come back, I assume.
Yeah.
Any information about the organization itself?
No.
And its purpose?
No. As in the organization that he had killed.
That he killed the higher up of?
No. Not in the notes that you've got.
Does it say anything about how they died? Like the bounty hunters that went after him, did they all die in the same way? Is what I'd be looking for?
Majority were stabbed to death. Is more hand-to-hand combat. But 3 were decapitated. 2 were exploded. Yeah, like 8 were stabbed to death, and then 2 were shot.
So by exploded, you mean like boom headshot?
No, like body blown up.
Okay, and
like
then
bomb.
And then there were more people shot, right?
2 shot.
2 more people shot. Okay, so 8 stabbed. No, 3 stabbed.
No, 8. 8 stabbed.
3
stabbed, 3 decapitated.
2 exploded, 8 stabbed, 2 shot.
That's a lot of math.
15 people.
It's in the notes. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's post bounce. That's post.
I mean, my mama always told me, when you don't have the answer, you have to find someone that knows that answer that you're looking for. So I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe we can visit one of these fellow colleagues, pirates, to see if they can put us on the right direction.
You think we should go to the cleanup?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I have to say, it's not a terrible idea. My other thought was to find out more information about this organization and what the purpose of the target was. Why?
We, as they're saying this, I'm gonna like pull out the notebook and then also like the map and like lay it down and sort of move it towards Xander, and I'll like point. I think he's right about here. And that's hold on. I gotta look.
Do you think that this is the last place that he was spotted?
I think it's based on the information we have. I think it's a good place to start. I don't think he's necessarily still there, but I think we could look, see if it's reported.
Yeah, I agree. The best start, and I think we're all kind of saying this, Wyoming included, is to build a profile on this guy. We need to figure out what his intentions are, what his motivation is, and find his next potential target.
Do we have the date of the last sighting?
You do. It is within the notes that Bobbi has put down where, again, it's the map and the notebook entry and the sticky note that says last sighting here. Within the notebook, it gives the astral coordinates for that location and a date, which is, I don't know what the calendar is in this world setting, so I'm not telling you that yet, but it's about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So based on
considering how-
that, can I try and calculate like the circumference of the area he could be in based on how fast the average spaceship goes?
Yes, I love this. I love
Sci-fi
this.
shit!
I
Sci-fi
love
shit!
this.
Make me a tech roll. whilst I-
Okay.
Come on, math.
Seven.
Fails.
That's with my +2.
Can I give her any help?
I'm going to say this is a solo roll.
That's valid.
What did you roll?
7.
Okay. You take a moment and you kind of look at this map and you kind of do the whole like mind palace thing of like bringing up charts and schematics in your head, and you're like, I don't know the speed of an average ship. I used to make weapons. Never mind. And you're just like,
Captain, would you know the
Yeah.
speed of an average space vessel?
Would I?
not that fast.
Not that fast.
Welcome
You
to
would-
Improvisation 101.
Bobbi,
Yes.
from
Pretty fast.
Bobbi, from being a tow trucker and traveling on multiple ships, you would know that if the last sighting is 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
that means that you are currently about 3 weeks away from this location.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and, if I can, find like a bigger map of basically like the universe, and I'll put like a sticky note or something where he was last spotted, and then I'll tell Mira we're about 3 weeks away, and then I'll put another like sort of sticky note or like a little like push pin where we are. So
We're roughly 6 weeks behind him.
yeah.
Any news on the last place the cleanup crew was seen?
Anything like that in any of our notes, maybe?
Can you all make
Just
me a
like-
savvy roll?
Yeah, just basic news. It's not like they're not a well-known gang.
Do we get the virtual newspaper?
Also, like, where if we know the actual coordinates, could we correlate that to like what we know on the map, like where about that might be? Maybe if it's like a known place.
Creating like a circle.
Is there like news? Is there journalism in this world?
No.
That in space times.
There's no journalism.
There is, but it is like localized to on a station.
Okay, all right.
There is no long range radio in this world.
You said we're doing savvy.
Yes.
21.
21.
21.
21.
2 total.
Okay.
7.
Nice. Let me just. Okay, Lunar. Looking through the notes that you have in front of you, you do find some information on the cleanup. Again, they were low-level petty crime. There were 7 members originally, including Bo. When he was kicked out, they went down to 6. And the gang disbanded about 4 years ago after 3 members were killed by Bo.
Interesting.
And in terms of disbandment, the rest of the group, the other 3, 2 are in a prison facility, and one of them is of unknown whereabouts.
Okay. Do you relay that to us?
Yeah.
So, I have a couple theories. One, he's clearly attempting to eliminate the entire gang out of revenge. That's obvious. My other wonder, even though it was an isolated incident, I still keep going back to that higher up in that organization if that is going to become a pattern and why.
Well, I do have a theory, if you ask me.
I do ask you.
Okay, I do believe that this Bo is trying to eliminate the past members of his gang.
So essentially, what I just said, you are now repeating as if it's your own idea.
Kind of.
Yeah,
But with
rude.
more
Don't do that
style.
again. Don't do that again.
I do have a desk and you don't.
Yes, I do. I don't do that.
Oh, really?
Again. We're losing track of the subject.
I'm sorry.
You can't just repeat
And I
what
look to the
other
rest of the
people
guys.
say more slowly and expect them to be impressed.
Thank you, Mira. Men.
Bobbi.
Yeah.
Back to you. You wanted to get a larger map so you could kind of pinpoint your location. You take a second to see if you've got anything. And you're kind of looking around and you look at the table, you put the map on and that, and you're like, oh, it's got drawers. It's weird. Open a drawer and there's a switch inside the drawer.
Oh, God. I'm gonna tell everybody, I don't know what this does, so hold on, just to be safe, and I'll flick it on.
Okay. You all hear a hum
Oh, shit.
come from the table that you're all gathered around in the like crew area.
Space map, space map, space map.
And then the top of the table starts to kind of glow slightly. But again, it's covered in all this paper and notes.
I will not do that with Xander's stuff. I will do that with my stuff. I will just like off the side.
I
And
also
then
just
I'll-
pack up all my stuff in a nice, neat pile rapidly and put it off to the side.
Okay. You move your stuff off the table and you see that it is a digital display.
Space map, space map.
And on that, there does appear to be some buttons you can press that open up different files on the display. One is a system diagnostic. One is a navigation. And the other is listed G.A.M.E.S.
Gaze.
Space?
That's what it says.
I want to click to that one really quick.
You click it and like on the screen again, it's a flat screen. Like the little line goes off, and then there's a drop down with two other boxes.
What do those say?
One just has the letter P, and the other one has the letter A.
Would I have any idea
Pac-Man and
what this
Atari?
is?
Uh,
Yeah.
Question. Who would know what this was? Mira, you would. Out of Lunar and Bobbi, I think Lunar would know what this is more. And the pair of you know that these are two games that you would have found in one of the arcade areas of the Iron Ring. Do you click on any of them?
Yeah. I'm gonna click on the P.
The P.
Yeah.
You click it, the screen goes blank, and then you see like the lines going across as it's filling in like the title of it, and it goes across, and then you get the word Pong.
Nice.
This is so good. Okay, and then I'll escape, and then I'll click on that A, just
A.
because now I'm just curious and I have to know.
It goes black, and this one takes a bit longer to load, but when it does, it comes up with asteroids.
Ah, incredible. Oh, I'm gonna spend so much time here. Just like Bobbi is just so excited about this, but is gonna go, okay, we can come back to that later. And I'll shut it down and I'll sort of go to like the navigation bit and I'll start doing like trying to pinpoint like all the locations and stuff that we have talked about so we can see it just visually.
Mm-hmm. So you click the navigation, and the first thing that loads is it asks for a date and a time. You pop in the date and time, and it takes a second, and then it loads up a system map. So first it loads up a generalized map of the star system you are in, and it is a moving map as well. So currently, as you see it, it is static because it's moving at the speed that it's moving now. But you do have a toggle on there, so you can change the date, and it will move the map in line with the date. So with the planet rotations around the central star here in the Tenebris system, it will show you where they are in relation to that star on specific dates. So you can actually see if a location obviously moves with the rotation and the gravitational pull of the sun.
And does it seem to have like the ship's travel history as well? Like Stella Luna's travel history.
There is a option to view the history, but it just says corrupted when you go into the folder.
Of course it does.
But you have your current location within the system is pinged on the map, and then you can actually like type in coordinates and it will ping those up on the map as well and show you where they are in relation.
Didn't you have a list of coordinates in that journal?
I'll pick it up from the floor and then plop it on the table. And if I can, I'll just go through and like enter all the coordinates basically. Just so if we can almost like put like a pin in all of them to see
there's any kind of pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. You spend a couple minutes doing that as there's like 3 pages of coordinates and it's like each line in this little notebook. And after you've done that, you kind of look on the map and you zoom it out a bit so you can get a better view. You find there is a slight pattern to them, yeah. They appear to all almost follow the rotational pattern of the planet Lepidoptera. But yeah, I actually said it right. Sweet. They all kind of follow its rotation within the solar system, almost, and they kind of stay, only so far out of its rotation.
So he's following the planet or staying close to the planet for whatever reason.
I think that's a good place to start then.
I agree. And maybe his base of operations where he returns to for fuel or whatever.
There's something about it.
At the very least, someone might have seen him.
Exactly.
How long till we get there?
I'll kind of, and then you see like something click in Bobbi's mind, and she goes, That was where he was last sighted. It's about 3 weeks. I say we go.
Yeah, regardless of how far ahead of us he is, we have to
come
start
back to
somewhere.
it.
So one other thing I suggest we do before we leave, and I assume we're all in agreement that we're going after this guy and heading to this planet first.
All those in favor?
I mean,
We
plus all the serial killers always come back to the crime scene. So
Sometimes. My suggestion before we leave, we establish some sort of security around the station. I'd like to keep it.
Absolutely. I'd be able to help if we need any weapon systems manufactured.
I just don't want someone else hijacking our hijack. And I don't think any of us should stay on the station alone. Not right now.
No.
so what do you suggest?
Mira?
Well, we could set up some turrets around the place. Not self-activating ones, I would recommend.
This may be both an out-of-character question and in-character question. Is there any chance we could set up a system that would alert us if anybody tried to access our space station while we were gone?
You could, but you'd have to be in range of the station for it to signal you. There are no long-range communications in this
Okay.
post-war universe. Everything is short-range, so like planet-to-planet communications don't exist. It's a case of like ship-to-ship communications if in range.
What is range?
Range is depending on the quality of the communications devices you have on board. Could be anything from like the ships are just about to touch, or like a few kilometers away, from anything from like 5 to 50.
Did
Could
it have any, like, weapons on it already?
No.
That's definitely a place to start. Is there any way we could disable the airlocks and then be able to reestablish them remotely as we come back?
I would
Perhaps.
say Mira, make me a tech roll.
Because if nobody can dock on the station, then there's nothing else to worry about.
9.
Could I do a tech roll?
Today.
Yes, Xander, you can do a tech roll.
Thank
Also-
you.
Mira, take a void point as well. Because you failed a roll, you get a void point. This is something I forgot to mention last week. Void points for you guys. If you fail an ability check or attack roll, you gain a void point. Void points you can then spend to gain advantage on an ability check or roll, or to activate a cosmic mutation if you have one. So if you fail a roll, you gain a void point. You can then spend that to gain advantage, so you roll 2d20 on the next roll. But if you then fail, like fail on that roll, that's when I get to start messing around with things. And you can, have a maximum of 6 void points at any one time.
I got 17.
17, okay. So I will say with that, Xander, you can interface with the station's computer system using your robot hands. And in doing so, you'll be able to set a timed delay lock on the airlocks. As in, you can set a delay so that you can set it off, get off the station, and then it will lock the airlocks down until they are manually unlocked through a sequence or code that you have to put in. To do that, to reinitiate the airlock, you would have to be outside in space on a keypad that is on the side of the airlock that you would have to put in a specific sequence you determine. That would be the only way to reopen it.
That's fine.
Additionally, what you can do is you can set not quite a cloaking device on the station, because if you look at it, it's still there, but you can set like a signal jammer. That means that anyone scanning the area wouldn't see it on any devices.
Like on their scanners.
Yeah, it just wouldn't show up.
Okay, so I figured this out and I relay that to the crew. So we have one or both of these options. I definitely prefer the second, but I would absolutely do the first as well. I just want to... I feel like this station is a major asset, and nobody messes with my asset.
Sounds good. I say we do both if we can.
Mhm.
I was wondering, radio is still a thing, right? In space.
Short range, yeah, as in again like that 50-kilometer range, nothing long wave.
Can we like set up like a radio frequency to just go out, like that we would know like it's code 51515151 over again, but if like the comms or something's like activated on the station, that would either turn off or change, like something really simple that could like we could be tuned into when we come close to see if anyone has like gone on board.
That's smart.
You could, but that would kind of negate the cloak on the station, because then someone could potentially pinpoint that radio signal back to where the station is, to its origin.
Okay, probably cloak's better than.
But we would still be able to find it, right?
Yeah, it's easy enough to find. You can set a pinpoint on the station.
Oh, there we go on our map. There we go.
And then
Smart.
you can track
Okay.
its rotation as well.
Good. Mira and I will get started on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Lunar would probably like maybe keep going through looking for supplies. Was there alcohol in the?
Yes, in the storage I found supplies to make moonshine. In the distillery, there was sugar, there was yeast. Some vegetable that we should probably never touch and send into space forever. And I found rations. 25 packets of freeze-dried rations. I don't know if it's beef, Wyoming.
I already checked. There's no beef on the ship, and that's a shame.
I'm sorry for you. I'm devastated for you, sir, truly.
Yeah, it's one of my priorities for the end of this mission. We have to buy some beef for the ship. I do believe it's part of the basics, you know.
Maybe the planet that we're going to has some beef or similar product. Because I don't know that cows exist anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you can't replicate beef. I mean, beef is beef. Sometimes you can find something similar, but it's not quite the same. And that's the magic of beef. Beef puts together people, you know.
Perhaps the next planet we land on will be filled with space cows.
Hope so.
Do we know the name of the planet?
Yes.
What was it?
Who's going to attempt it other than me?
Lepidoptera?
Was it Lepidoptera? Was it Lepidoptera? Lepidoptera?
here. I'm just gonna call it the L planet.
It sounds like a
Sounds like a
Swedish rock
dinosaur.
band.
Sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it does sound like a dinosaur.
We'll just call it Daptera, because that sounds
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah.
Sometimes like
Terra.
people name things and you're like, did you say that out loud before naming it?
Yes. So, Xander and Mira, you two go ahead and set up these security measures, shall we say, on the station, ready for your departure. Lunar, if you want alcohol, there are a couple bottles still of moonshine in the distillery room itself. The distillery is not running as it stands. It is inactive. You do have supplies there to start it up, but if that is something you would want to do, there is a process for that. But we will go.
Okay. she would definitely grab the bottles. And she probably wouldn't mention that to anybody else, especially not Wyoming Joan.
You little.
She's actually thinking more of like, okay, this is alcohol is useful if anyone gets injured. We want to keep if we need something sanitary.
I'm injured for life.
Yeah. So she's like on that kind of mindset. But that's so she's kind of stashed that somewhere.
Yeah. So you grab a couple bottles and put them in your room, out of the way. Okay. So preparations are made for departure. Xander and Mira, who's gonna be the one that sets the airlock timer?
I'd let Xander do it because it seems like he knows more about it.
Okay. Cool. So in that case, you set the signal jammer, and that's done. Mira, you return to the ship. Xander, everyone else is on the ship, by the way, at this point. Xander, you're about to set the timer on the airlock, so you can then leave the station before it shuts and then locks down. Can you roll me a dex?
I certainly can.
Boy, here we go.
16.
16. Okay.
Nice.
You interact with the system, with the station system, set the timer, and head out to the ship. Luckily, you're quite fast and make it before the airlock closes. That's what the check was for. Let's see if
I
we
was
trapped on the ship.
really concerned because it was almost a 1 and then wasn't.
Good.
I would have been stuck forever.
Yes, because you're the one with the code. You're on the
Right.
station. And you need to be out of the station.
Oh yeah, Xander, are you giving us all the code?
I was gonna ask, like, I hate to say it, but what if you die?
Yeah, I suppose I will give Bobbi the code and I will give Mira the code.
Can I have the code?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you. I'll keep it safe.
Listen, the only reason that I'm not giving it to everybody, we're going after a serial killer. I don't want anybody to be put in a position where they may have to give up this information for their life. As dramatic as that may sound, I've seen it done before.
And what
I guess
if
me and you
one
might
of
be able to privatize this information if we need to? Kind of referencing the fact that we're chromes, I guess.
and what if one of the persons with the code is a serial killer? Have you ever thought about that?
And what if I am?
That didn't come out right, and I love it.
Are we ready?
Yeah. On that note, I'll go to the captain's chair and I'll, put in where we're going. Yeah, and hopefully get Stella there in one piece, and also the crew there in one piece.
Yes. I like the priorities there. The ship before.
Sorry. She's Bobby's baby.
Okay, so you guys set off and leave your station locked up tight, heading to Lepidoptera to attempt to catch this bounty. Yes, you set off. It's going to be about a 3-week journey, so there's going to be some downtime along the way, and we will go through that shortly. But first, we're going to go to a break. I did just notice that there's a raid from Positive Gaming, so thank you guys very much for raiding. We are going to go to a very quick break, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere.
Yes. Don't go
Don't.
anywhere.
Seriously, it's so worth it. Just stay.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Okay.
roast beef. I promise. I promise.
Just stay.
Yes, but we're going to go on a quick break, and then when we return, we'll continue with the shenanigans that are about to unfold. So, see you in 5 to 10 minutes. Peace.
Beef.
hello and welcome back. Thank you all for sticking around. This is episode 2 of our Death in Space campaign, A Corrupted Frontier. To give you all a little recap on what has happened thus far in this episode, our crew have done kind of a full look around of the station, working out what rooms what's where. They found some supplies. Wyoming found some peas, page 108 in the book if you're wondering, and they have a plan. So Bo Zapper, the wanted serial killer, who has thwarted all attempts to be captured, to the point of killing the previous owner of this space station, a bounty hunter themselves, is still at large, and the crew have now taken it upon themselves to attempt to claim the bounty for the reward, and are using the notes left by the previous bounty hunter as to where they are. They have locked up the station, which they have decided to keep and maintain themselves, hiding it from radar, and have set off on their way to the last known potential whereabouts of Bo Zapper, which is a moon station that is orbiting the planet Lepidoptera, I think. But they are on their way. They have set off. It is a 3-week journey to the location, and they have their supplies, their rations. They've already got their quarters on their ship. They have a new scanner installed by Mira, which will now be able to scan the area around the ship to a specific distance for any other people or things. So, you're on your way. You have 3 weeks. You now have quite a bit of downtime. So during this downtime, you're going to be getting up to stuff. So I'm going to go around and see what everyone's up to over this 3-week journey. And we will start with Lunar.
Dang it. I'm not ready. I was like, don't pick me. What is Lunar doing right now? She doesn't have a lot of chill, I feel like. She really like try and keep herself busy, like keeping things organized, but there's really only so much you can do after a while. I think maybe she'd go through the rations and see if she can make anything that might taste kind of like roast beef.
Okay. So we'll say during this time, Luna's going to be practicing her culinary skills with these freeze-dried rations and try combining flavors to get something close to roast beef. We'll say like each day you try a new mix, and give it to Wyoming first for his approval. We're currently on, we'll say, with your little instance, we get to like day 12 and we're still not at roast beef yet. We've got to the point where we're getting somewhere close to pork, but not roast beef.
Like pork ramen, like noodles, like the cheap kind.
There's a cheap noodle pork ramen flavor going on, although the ingredients have none of that in it. But that's the flavor profile you're getting. So that's Luna's little plan during this downtime. Next we will move to Bobbi.
So I'm gonna try to, for my downtime activity, because I don't want to take it away from Mira, I'm gonna still try to go find Mira and like see if she can kind of give me any like tidbits for, oh, here's how you can tell if something is good, like would be good for a little gadget, or here's how you can tell it's like really shitty. I'm trying to I'm gonna take like little notes in the notebook that I got, based on whatever Mira is telling me.
Okay. So you're doing a little bit of kind of research and training with Mira about device management and kind of computer building. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well, on that note, let's move over to Mira.
All right, so I'm definitely happy to help Bobbi, and I'm trying to just be useful on the ship, but to the point where it's almost kind of annoying. Like I'm constantly asking everybody what they need and if something is broken and if I can do anything. And yeah, I just keep giving Bobbi lots and lots of tips, almost to the point where it's overwhelming.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Let's move over to Xander.
Xander is, whilst sketching the end of the universe, as he's often wont to do, especially when he can't sleep, he's just thinking about the planet and the significance of it and why someone may want to murder a significant person in an organizational level. Like, he's just obsessed now with this planet, what its culture is, and like why. So I don't know if there's any way he could be doing research on that. I don't know what like resources are available because we don't obviously have access to the internet. That's not a thing. So
yeah,
if there's anything in my memory from, you know, being on the Iron Ring or anything that I might have heard about this planet. Have I been to this planet? Maybe I've been to the planet. I don't know. Done a lot of weird shit, man.
You haven't been to this planet. Not many people have. No one on this crew has been to this planet before. I will say that. And you know a little about it, like getting what you can from the ship's computers in terms of any sort of reference. Minimal. It says it's a habitable planet. Dense foliage. That's kind of all you get. Looking through the notes, there's nothing about the planet within the notes either.
There's no like civilizations?
There's nothing listed, so you don't know. You'd presume there is, but there's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing listed.
Okay, so the organization that he killed the higher up person in is not from that planet. They don't exist on that planet.
The planet you're going to.
Yeah.
No. The organization was
not
near.
Related.
No, not to this planet at all. It was the territory around Emissa. So it's a different planet the organization was in.
Okay, that's something he's going to want to go after eventually.
Yeah, Emissa is a habitable planet with civilizations.
Okay, yeah. I want to go to there at some point, but I'll pitch to the crew later.
Okay. But yeah, you spend your time obsessing over this information and drawing what you think is the edge.
Well, now that I kind of understand that I'm assuming that this is where he like camps out and hides away in between whatever the fuck he's doing, killing people. That's my assumption.
Okay. Cool. Wyoming.
Yes.
What's Wyoming? Apart from tasting Lunar's culinary expertise, what's Wyoming getting up to in his downtime?
I tried to keep my mind busy because with my condition, I sleep very, very little. I think a lot. Right now, I'm developing an investigation of my own because you see, I do have a theory about this ship. One of three options. One, it could be a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Two, probably we have a drinker because a couple of bottles of alcohol disappeared out of the blue. I mean, I saw that bottles. I won't lie. I make some personal plans with that bottles, but there's gone. So probably there's a drinker on the ship. Or option number three, probably there's a ghost, which is a drinker. So
makes sense.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm developing that investigation, and I think I'm very close to have a breakthrough.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Wyoming, can you roll me a body check, please?
Absolutely. 13.
13. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. So, you all spend this travel time doing your different activities. And you continue to do so. You all kind of spend time alone, in solitude, and spend time together, researching together, eating together, just generally getting on together. At some point, I imagine there will be some gaming going on in the mess hall on the Pong and Asteroid things, building up some new high scores. We will get back to that at some point in a later episode, possibly. Yes, Xander.
I would like to have in the mess hall started to build a investigation board on Bo.
Murder board.
A murder board, but in the mess hall, so everybody has access to it, and there's little pieces of paper and pens if people want to make notes and they have thoughts. That's something I would like to do.
Okay, that sounds good. I like it. Okay, so this time passes, and it is the evening. We're in space, it's always dark. It could be day, it could be night. It is the relative evening on your 13th night here. And you've all had a busy period together. Bobbi and Mira have been tinkering on some computer equipment, trying to build something new out of it, and Mira showing Bobbi your thought process and how you would create something new out of these components. Lunar, you got close. We had a lamb flavor meal and somewhat reminiscent to a gravy flavor within that. Wyoming, loved it, but it's not beef.
Yes, we're getting there.
Getting close. Xander, you were adding to the murder board. You spent the afternoon repinning about half the board back up because it was knocked over at some point. You do not know who by. None of the crew have come forward and said who did it, but it was knocked over. So you spent the afternoon repinning half of it back up.
Do I know Wyoming's theory about the ghost, or is that something he's kept to himself?
Have you shared this theory with Wyoming?
Absolutely not, because
Just checking.
everyone it's a suspect.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Fair enough.
So
Okay.
anyway,
So
My main suspect is Xander, by the way.
thought so.
makes
Okay.
sense.
All right.
okay. So yeah, Xander, you spend your afternoon repinning the board, and it gets to evening. You've all eaten, you've socialized. You're ready for going to bed, or attempting to go to bed for some of you, and you all go to your quarters and you all lie down. Wyoming, you lie down and you fall asleep for the first time in 13 days. The rest of you fall asleep, and you begin to drift off into sleep, into slumber, and you all begin to dream. And things are pleasant, things are calm, and it's a smooth ride, a quiet night, and then zoom, the ship rumbles. And the alarm goes off. And you all awake to red lights flashing. And then everything cuts off. The lights stop. The alarm stops. Everything stops. And you all slowly start to float in your rooms. this happens. You are all in pitch darkness in your rooms, floating. Lunar, can you roll me a savvy roll? Mira, can you roll me a tech roll? Wyoming and Bobbi, a dex roll. Xander, a savvy roll.
Natural 20, 22 total.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
14.
Well, 12.
12. Wyoming 12. Lunar 13. Is it?
14.
14.
An
Bobbi?
8 for me.
8 for Bobbi. Okay. So,
Nice knowing y'all.
Wyoming,
Yes.
you begin to float, and in the darkness, you don't see anything, but you manage to put your hands out in front of you before you hit your face on the corner of your desk, which would have been
Yes.
very painful. But you are floating in your room. It is pitch black. You don't have a clue what's going on. Lunar, it is pitch black, and you're floating. There is no sound around you. This is not a situation you haven't been in before. But it isn't the same situation. And you make that connection that this is not the same situation. And you're not in that ship you were in. And you take a second to breathe and steady yourself from those thoughts. But you are in the dark and you are floating in your room. Something's going on. Xander, you awake to this alarm.
I'm screaming in static.
Yes, you are. There is just static white noise coming out of your mouth as you scream to this alarm. And then everything stops. And you just float there silently for a second whilst you try and gauge what's going on. Mira. It's a bit shocking. It was unusual. You know, you've not floated in a long time, but now you are. And there was a siren, but then it stopped. Everything went dark. You put 2 and 2 together. You know, sensing that there is no vibration coming from the ship either. And you make the connection that the engines must have stopped. The electrics must have stopped. Looks like the ship is dead in the water, as they say. And potentially something has happened that has caused the ship to turn off all systems.
Okay.
That's engines, navigation, life support. The gaming console's turned off. Everything is off at this point. So it's a slight situation here that needs correcting. Bobbi,
Mm-hmm.
as you began to float, you kind of flailed around in a slight sense of panic, as this is the first time you've heard this alarm on the ship, and it didn't help that you heard it, began floating, then everything turned off, including the alarm, and you're now in the dark. So you flail around, and unfortunately your flailing has kind of moved your body into such a position and rotational speed that you did hit your head during this in the dark. You've taken 1 point of damage,
Okay.
and you are somewhat concussed and bleeding from your temple.
Oh my god. It's kind of like what happened to me last weekend.
So all rolls are with disadvantage currently.
Yay.
Enjoy.
I will.
One positive to everyone, even though your life support is now turned off, is that you do all have EVA spacesuits in your rooms. There are a standard issue in each room for such an occasion. So you are able to, if you wish, to put on your suit and then work out what the hell's going on and what you're going to do.
I'm putting mine on.
Yeah, I immediately suit up and start heading to the engine room.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get it on as fast as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, like training kicks in and just like gets the suit on.
Did I find my suit? Because thinking about Wyoming, probably he's already floating on the main deck or something like that.
Yes, Wyoming, you managed to find your suit.
Great.
But for all of you, just so you are all aware, with your EVA suits, you have oxygen within it. You have 7 hours worth of oxygen. You have a two-way voice communication. And there is a display on your suit that gives you the status, the suit status, and the wearer's health. There's a cooling system and pressure regulation, keeps it calm and air conditioned. There's an umbilical cable in case you want to attach it to, say, the ship and use the ship's life support. Currently not working, so you can't. There's a can of repair foam for unexpected damage, like bullet holes, penetration trauma to the suit, and magnetic boots. So, do you all put your suits on?
I immediately go down to the engine room and I jack in to see what the hell's, to see if I can get any kind of power, any kind of connection with my USB.
Okay, first,
Those they were
there is
ahead.
no lights.
Oh, I can't
So even
see.
though- yeah, you can't see.
I can't see anything. Do I have a flashlight?
No.
Okay, this is gonna be horrible. It's not gonna work super well. I have a pack of incense sticks. Can I please try to use some of those for at least a little light?
I have some military grade light sticks.
Oh,
So,
much better.
I'm gonna give one to Xander. I'm gonna take one, and I'm gonna go around the ship, gun out, and see if I can identify if there's anything outside of the mechanical issue that could have interrupted if we've been boarded, if something else is going on. I'm gonna kind of do a perimeter.
Okay. Okay. So, Lunar, you give a glow stick to Xander and begin your perimeter check. Bobbi, do you want to try and use 2 incense sticks?
Yes, please, because I want to go up to the captain's chair, basically.
Okay.
Do you want? I have 5. Do you want one?
I have a tablet computer. Would
Me
that glow
too.
enough?
I mean, the screen will give off a subtle glow.
Not enough to see.
No, and it's not got a
Okay.
light on the back of it like an iPad would.
Okay.
I'll hold mine up to where Xander is working as well. As if we combine them, maybe that will make enough
The
light.
power!
But Bobbi, you light an incense stick thinking, oh, this will be great, this will work. And it gives off no light.
Oh, good.
Because it's an
Okay.
A little
incense
tiny
stick.
ember.
And it's like that tiny little bit that's surrounded by ash. And you can't even smell it either, so...
But it smells great. I mean,
You wouldn't know, you're in an EVA suit.
I was gonna say, can we even like the and okay.
It's probably
So I
eating
think.
up oxygen a little bit more.
Thank you. That was my, why would you light fire when we have limited oxygen?
It's outside. Don't blame me. I'm vibes only.
I mean, I'm not the
gonna
brightest.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn to Lunar and I'll just hold my hand out and then I'll be like, oh, she can't see. And so I'll just like grab her hand and then put my hand out for like a glow stick.
Yeah, I'll hand over a glow stick.
Okay. Wyoming, what are you doing at this point?
I don't know where I am. I'm lost. I'm kind of lost. I'm on the upside down right now.
So I'm presuming you've put your suit on.
Hardly, but yes, I did.
Okay. So you're currently in your room, in your suit, in the dark, just wondering where you are.
Probably I'm start to scream to the crew, but without the transmission on. You know, I'm like,
okay. Okay. So no one hears Wyoming screaming in his EVA suit. Because he's not turned his radio on, which you all have a radio. And it is that muffled that none of you hear him. So, whilst...
But I see the glowing the glowing things that my crew members companions are using.
I would say, yeah, if you venture out into the corridor, you'll see them.
Okay, probably I will just move ahead towards that light, that little glow.
Okay. We will hope it's the glow from their glow sticks and not something else. Anyway.
Yeah, we can hope.
So, Xander, you wanted to go to the engine room, I believe, and Bobbi, you wanted to go to the bridge.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Lunar, you're doing a perimeter check on the ship. Mira, where are you going? What are you doing?
Straight to the engine room as well. That's my first thought.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I need Lunar to do me a savvy check, and I want Xander, Mira, and Bobbi to do a tech check, and then Wyoming to do a dex check.
20.
What's my check? I'm sorry.
Tech check.
Tech.
Yes.
9.
I need to put this not on my lap.
13.
13.
11.
11.
19.
19 from Xander. And Luna, what was your
20.
20? Nice. Okay. So, let's start with the failures before we start with the successes. Wyoming, you begin to make your way to the glow sticks that you can see ahead of you in the corridor. Still shouting without turning your radio on. But they start to move away. The glow sticks are moving away from you now. You're like, need to catch up. And then you remember you have a radio. So you click the switch on your chest and you activate the magnetic boots into lock. And you're now stuck in position. You hit the wrong switch. You're now stuck in position in the corridor of the ship, just stood there, unable to move. Wrong switch. You might get it next time.
Guys, help! Little help! It's not about the bottles issue, I swear.
Where are you?
I'm on the ship.
Oh.
That's the only thing that I know. Everything's so dark.
I'm gonna sweep. I'll come find you eventually. Okay, I got light. Just hold tight.
Okay, I'll
Just
stick
stay
around.
where you are and don't touch anything.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere. Obviously.
Okay, Bobbi. You make your way to the bridge. It's all dark. You have your glow stick. You get there and you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this sense of anxiety and kind of this sense of I'm not cut out for this. Like I don't know what's going on here, and I don't know how to work this. Kind of comes over you, and you just stand there for a minute on the bridge. waiting for an answer to hopefully come to you. Lunar, you make your sweep. You start heading around. You started with the back of the ship first, so you left the crew quarters, turned past the mess hall, towards the storage bay, and beyond that is the engine room, where Xander and Mira have already kind of sped off past you. And you make a loop. You don't find anything. You don't see anything. There's no signs of damage to the ship that you can see internally. You pass the airlock. It is fully sealed, locked, closed, nothing there. Make your way back past the mess hall towards the crew quarters on that main corridor, and you see Wyoming stood there, kind of not like flailing around, but you know, give him 10 more minutes of panic and he'd be like the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, with his feet stuck to the floor.
I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs, like, "Are you there, dear ghost? Are you there?"
You can hear this now. Now that you're close enough, you can hear the muffled sound coming through his EVA suit, not over the radio.
I'll go up to Wyoming and like tap his radio so he can hear on his suit, and then take the. Do you want the boots off, or you want them on?
What?
Do you want your boots on?
Can't
or
hear
off?
you.
I just turned on your radio. You should hear me.
Oh yes, I can hear you. I just was fooling around. Come again.
You know what? That's fine. No one's here that I can tell. I think it's a mechanical problem. I'm gonna go check on everyone else in the engine room.
I mean, I can help. I'm just stuck with my boots. That's the main issue.
Do you want me to help you with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I press the button on the boot so he can float again.
Oh my gosh, that was so helpful. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's right. It's here. This one is the boots, okay, and then this one is the radio.
I mean, I'm a drug addict. I'm not a. That's.
Okay, just so you know.
Okay. Now, what are I going to do now? I mean, can we help the others?
I don't know. Well, we can go check on and see how they're doing. But...
Okay, lead the way.
Okay. So we'll head towards the engine room.
Okay. So you unlock Wyoming's mag boots on his EVA suit, so he's able to walk. They lock, unlock automatically now on a flat surface, unlike them just being locked in place as they were. And the pair of you head towards the engine room. Xander and Mira, you both make it to the engine room and are able to kind of take a look around and see what's going on. What are you guys looking for?
I think for me, priority is oxygen, if that's going to be down as well. So I'd start looking for where controls are for that.
Okay. Xander, are you doing the same?
Yeah, I think I'm just looking around, and I'm going to attempt native machine to see if I can make any connection, if there's any, I'm sensing any kind of power still, like, just dormant in the ship.
Okay. So Xander, you plug yourself into the computer to see if you can get anything going. Mira, you also start looking around and seeing what you can find, what's working, what's not, what's going on. Xander, no power is coming through any of the systems.
I'm not getting anything, Mira.
Nothing at all.
We're dead in the water.
I don't even know what could have caused this.
Anything I can do on my tablet computer to kind of scan the space around us to see if there's any anomalies that may have caused a power outage, anything?
I would say roll me a tech roll. I would say the pair of you, because you both have tablet computers and stuff. Let's see.
17?
Yeah, I got a 7.
Okay. Xander, you
Nothing.
can't think of anything. Mira, you look on yours, and you do like a kind of a diagnostic QA, like frequently asked questions sort of search on your tablet. And one of the things you bring up is that it could be like a solar flare or something, like that sort of like energy wave that's gone through and kind of just tripped everything. If that is the case, then you're gonna have to do like a full system reboot and turn the ship back on, which is a process, shall we say. And to do so, you're going to need to check some of the schematics that are in the engine room, some of the manuals that are there, which luckily survived all this time on the ship, on how to do that. But you don't remember where they were, so you're going to have to search around the engine room using the light from your tablet to find one of the manuals. I will need a
If I
savvy
can
roll.
use my eye, I don't know if it is going to work because it's dark, but if there's any way I could use that to like super zoom in around where I think it might be.
I will say yes, you can. If you're going to do that, I'll say you get advantage on the roll in doing that. But if you crit fail that, I'll treat it as if you used a void point, and
Okay.
things may happen.
Okay. So would this be another tech roll?
This would be a savvy.
Okay, savvy. 4.
Okay. Wasn't a 1. You don't. You look round and you don't see it. But you could implore Xander to assist.
You don't happen to know where the ship manual is?
Let me see if I can find it. Every ship puts it somewhere else. Do I roll for this?
Yes, roll me a savvy.
14.
14. Okay. It takes you a bit of time, but you search around the other side of the engine room from where Mira was, and tucked away in a drawer under some tools, you find the manual, and you flick through it and have a look to see if there is any information on what protocol to do when the ship turns off.
Yeah, if there's any like breakers or anything, and I'm like using the glow of my glow stick to kind of just barely read the text of this book.
I'm holding my tablet directly over the book. Trying to
You're
shine
holding
light
both
on it.
of our tablets over the book and the glow stick.
And sometimes I hold it way too close and you have to kind of bat it away, I guess, so you
Yeah.
can see what you're doing.
Okay.
Like every time I turn the page, my wrist hits yours.
Yeah.
That's how close you are.
So it takes you a minute looking through with the assistance of Mira's light, and you find a page that details what to do on a total power outage on the ship. And you read through it, and you take a mental note of the process and protocol of what to do, and it dawns on you that this is not an easy thing to correct when it happens, and it is a process that has to happen simultaneously. There are multiple actions that need to be done at the same time to ensure the ship does turn back on correctly without any further damage being caused.
Does it list any potential causes for why this might happen? Like,
No.
No.
No. Just says if it
Because
does
sometimes
happen,
in tech manuals it says if your device is doing XYZ, it could be a result of XYZ. That's kind of what I was looking
this
for.
one's just more like is everything turned off? Okay, here's how
Well,
to turn it back on.
This is what you should do.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So I will tell you the process, and you can then relay it to your crew. There are 2 breakers in the engine room, 2 large lever handles that need to be pulled at the same time, one on each side of the engine block. There are also two switches on the bridge that need to be flipped at the same time. It's like a key turn switch. One is to turn main systems on, and one is for the life support, which has to be done at the exact same time. And then there is the 5th internal lock switch, which basically means that all locking mechanisms on the ship are initiated, because the airlock has locked and closed, but that's not like a permanent shut, because everything's turned off. The magnetic locks and everything are not engaged, so it is locked and closed and sealed, but you could potentially just pull the door open.
Got it.
With force. So there is the internal lock switch that needs to be done as well at the same time to engage all locks. That's on the outside.
On the outside of the ship?
Yes.
That's fine. I have an EVA suit anyway. It's on the exterior. Got it. Okay. I think I relay that to the crew over the radio. And basically say we need 2 people in the engine room, 2 people on the bridge. Or is there 3 switch? No, 2 switches on the bridge, 2 in the engine room, and then somebody has to go outside the ship and hit the 5th one. Mira and I are already in here. Bobby's already on the bridge.
I can go outside if you want to, if you need me to.
You're up to volunteering for that.
Sure, I'm sober.
Fair enough. Lunar?
I can go to the bridge, I guess.
Good deal. All right, now listen to me very, very carefully. This all has to be done at the exact same time. All 5 switches. Understood?
Got it.
You go on my signal. On my signal. Not before, not after. On my signal. Because I don't want to tell you what happens if this doesn't work.
But are you going to count to 3, or do you have a special process?
I will count to 3 for you, Wyoming.
But for 3 or after 3? Because I want to be very, very clear about it. I don't want to mess it up.
So it's the very first beat right
Let's
after.
rehearsal.
3.
Let's rehearsal. 1.
So it's beat, go.
1.
Get
2,
that?
1.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Okay?
Great. Yes,
Got
yes,
it?
yes. Yeah, I got it.
I swear.
That is actually a pretty valid question.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we end position for that.
Okay. So, Lunar heads up to the bridge to join Bobbi. Getting into position with the switches, and Wyoming, we're going to head outside.
I give them like very specific instructions on where to find the switches and what they look like.
Yes. So,
And I give everyone I think I had 5
yes.
glow sticks. Everyone, or like at least one per room, or one per place.
Cool.
Bobby already has one. I have one.
Yes. So, you all get into position. Wyoming, you open the airlock door, obviously with the magnetic locks not engaged, so you're able to kind of pull them open, close them behind you. Because you've got your magnetic boots, you're able to walk on the side of the ship outside and get to where the switch is. The switch is on the top of the ship, on like, if you were to cut the ship in half from front to back, it's about a third of the way down past that second half towards the back on the top. Why they put it on the outside, no one really knows, but you know, great ships are designed in great ways. So you go out there, you get into position to flip the switch. You're all in position. We're all ready.
All right, crew. On my signal. Ready? Is everybody in
Ready.
position?
Yes.
Affirmative.
1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Everyone make a dex check.
Y'all really thought we weren't gonna have to roll for this?
I knew we were, but I was
Yeah.
also like, maybe.
If someone messed it up, it wasn't me. 17.
19. Oh,
No, Bobby, no.
Bobby got a
11.
10, Amir got a 4. No.
So, I'm going to go around and we can say it. Xander, what did you get?
19.
19. Wyoming, what did you get?
17.
17. Lunar,
I got 11.
11. Okay. Mira,
4.
4. And Bobby, 10. Okay. Question. Bobby, which switch were you at on the...
Yes,
were you
one
on
is
the-
life support and one is main systems.
Whichever one is on the right.
The one on the right is the life support. Okay. And Mira, you were in the engine room as well. Okay, so Xander, you 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go. As you say that over the radio, there's a little bit of kind of
A delay.
a slight distortion.
Yeah.
That delays the audio a little bit. Enough to throw off the balance of time for you guys to press the switch. The engine doesn't come back on.
It's been a great show, guys.
And the main systems don't come back on. But in pressing the switches, energy and electricity does come back on in the ship momentarily before it kind of stalls and turns off. But it comes on enough for the systems to like want to boot up, but not. And because the sequence wasn't done right, there have been some negative effects. Because the life support of the ship wasn't done in time, the ship is now venting oxygen. Out of the ship. Wyoming,
Ash.
the vents that release the oxygen out of the ship, there are two. There's one on the left and there's one on the right. Can you make me a dex check? Because they're on the left and on the right of you, and you have oxygen venting towards your body, kind of pushing you.
Wow, okay. Ten.
10. Okay. Can you make me a tech check, please, Wyoming?
Yes. Yes, yes. Let me check. $16.
16. Okay, let me... Okay. The oxygen starts to vent. Wyoming, it pushes you off the ship. And you begin to float along the ship, along the back of it. But you manage to flip the switch on your suit that Lunar showed you, and your boots re-kick in and stick you back to the ship on the outside. You're maybe like 10 feet down from where you were. But the ship is still not working, everyone. Wyoming, you see that the oxygen venting has stopped. But the ship is still stranded. With no power, floating in space. And that's where we're going to end it for today. So,
Yeah, that was cool, man.
We're gonna die.
Yeah.
I love this show.
For all the wrong reasons. No, I mean, no, it's great.
No, listen.
No, I mean, we're floating on space, ready to die at any minute. That's a great show. That's a great content. That's quality content, people.
So, just want to end it there. Thank you everyone for watching. For those that have stuck around for this episode of A Corrupted Frontier, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Before we go, I just want to go around the table, as it were, and let my players reintroduce themselves and tell you where to find them and what they're up to and what's going on in their worlds before we call it a day. So we will start with the overlay who's on my there, and that is Mira.
Oh, hi. I do lots of nerdy things on the internet. I'm a full-time Twitch streamer. You can find me over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DawnWhisper. I play lots of RPGs and MMOs, particularly addicted to MMOs. And yeah, I read some in-game lore books over on YouTube as well. I do like my lore. And yeah, it's pretty much me. I'm DawnWhisper everywhere. Apart from TikTok, where I'm DawnWhisper_.
Damn TikTok.
That TikTok. I'll get him.
Next up is Lunar.
Hi, I am Melissa Rose.
Now it's gonna be.
You can hear my son also here. Yeah, I do. What do I do? I'm make art and stuff. You can find me at Melrose Maps, mostly on Instagram. Yeah, I like playing games with cool people, so that's why I'm here. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Next up is Xander.
Hello. My name is Mazz, and this is my face. And I have been your Chrome, Xander Praetorian, your broody tech head. You can find me everywhere as Mazz Face. That's MAZZ Face. On Twitter, it's at Real Mazz Face. Because a shitty real estate investor stole my handle 10 years ago and never uses it. I will get revenge one day. You can find me every first Sunday over on Cybernation Uncensored as one of their players on their Blade Runner campaign, which is a lot of fun. I play with some little people like Bendy and Finn Pearson and Nate B, and just very good people, good cast. I'm also a graphics designer. I did the overlays. I was brand manager on Cybernation Uncensored. I have done the overlays for Coyote and Crow. Over there, I did their overlays for their Acton Cthulhu one-shot, which Cori was in. I did the overlays for Blade Runner. Most of the promotional graphics, Power Word Talk. I also do stuff over with Open Circuit Studios. We just wrapped our first season of Leverage Los Angeles. We're currently running one-on-one interviews with all of the cast and information like deep dives into how they created their characters. And we have a full cast one coming up. I think mine goes up sometime this week. I do the video editing for that. I make the overlays for that. You should have me make overlays for you if you want. I could do that for you. I'm also a cosplayer and I make coffee for a living. That's me.
Wonderful. Next up is Wyoming Jones.
Yeah, hello, people. My name is Homero Rios, and in real life, it happens that sometimes, occasionally, I'm a likable person. I'm a comic writer with work published by Heavy Metal Magazine, Metal Urland, and Revista Cthulhu. And please follow me in all social media as the Homero Rios, and please follow me at thehomerorios.com. Thank you very much, people.
Thank you. And then Bobby Turner.
Yes, hello. I was Bobby, our punk tow trucker botanist that can't roll well ever. But besides that, you can find me on Twitter, lovedays_, that's LOV, by the way. And there's a couple things kind of in the works in the next coming weeks. But first of all, I just have to get through finals and then we'll see how it ends up. But that's pretty much me. But you can usually find me at the Initiative Order. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. And lastly, there's me. I'm Danny. Find me online at Check for Traps on all social places. I'm the founder of the Initiative Order and part of the creative team here. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Please check out our sponsors if you would like to. There are amazing people who help out our community by giving discount codes and stuff for you guys. So there is Session Zero clothing, D&D inspired streetwear, there's Norse Foundry, Artisan Dice Makers, Mithril Armory, who do some amazing dice and TTRPG kind of merchandise as well. A great sponsor we've had for a long time. And then Umbral Oculus, which is a custom resin dice maker, which is Taryn, our very own Taryn, who you will have seen on the channel multiple times in Vault. They were the GM on Fire Realms and Dune. A wonderful person, wonderful member of our community, so please check them out. And if you like this game we've been playing, Death in Space, it is by Freely Publishing and Stockholm Cartel. Amazing game. Go check it out, try it out for yourselves. But yes, that is us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Every other Saturday, we have our next episode. Then we're off for the holidays, and we're back in January. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy your weekends, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thank you very much. Consume.